You're listening to Until They Sleep. Please note, this programming may not be appropriate for younger listeners. Have you ever requested a discount for something and then find out your family is utterly embarrassed at the fact that you did? Well, listen in as we discuss a situation where this occurred and also go off on some side tangents about moments where we've purchased things and returned them. Thanks for listening.
Hi, and welcome back to Until They Sleep. This is Chantel, and I'm here with my husband, Daniel.
Hello, everyone.
And we wanted to talk about this birthday we just had with my stepdaughter. And our 23-year-old
now
was here for her birthday recently. She spent her birthday with us, which she hadn't done in a long time. And, you know, I went and I ordered a cake for her, and it wasn't fabulous. So I asked for a discount because, you know, they messed up some part of the cake. It was a special order cake. It was a very expensive cake. I've never spent this much money for a birthday cake. So I expected it to be awesome. I expected it to be perfect and expected it to be delicious for as much as it cost. And it's like about $70.
Okay, so on that note,
$70 for a cake.
When I was told the price, I wasn't happy. Now, some of you out there are probably, that's it. That's not bad. I usually spend about 100, 120. I did not know that's what people pay for, like nice fancy cakes for a birthday. So I apologize. Okay, we usually we're simple.
We go to Sam's Club,
and we're a big family. Yeah, and we're not rich, so. For us, a cake, you go to Sam's Club, you order it, it's $20, $30, $40.
For a huge cake that everybody loves.
We go to a grocery store called Stater Brothers, and they have nice cakes too. And, same thing, about another $30. We might go to the Mexican market and get a tres leches cake, the 3 milk one.
Yeah, and another $30.
Maybe another $30. So, I hear 70 for a little round cake.
It was a 9-inch, 2-layer cake.
Yeah, it's little.
And it was supposed to be strawberry shortcake. Now, I don't know about everyone out there, but in my head, when I think strawberry shortcake, I think of a light, fluffy cake with lots of strawberries and whipped cream. That is not what we got. We ended up getting a very dense, heavy cake with not much filling and very few strawberries. And the exterior was fine. It was like a really mildly sweet buttercream, which was fine. But the interior was just very heavy. The cake itself was very heavy to pick up. But my point of this story is that, my stepdaughter didn't like it. And she just kept bringing up the picture of her cake from last year that her mother bought her. And how beautiful her cake, and how delicious her cake was. And so, there's always just that, like, step family, oh, well, this is what I got, and oh, this is what you got me, and oh, well, I really didn't like this, and she literally took like 3 bites and left it. So that, of course, made me feel bad, on top of everything else she was already saying. And I know I shouldn't care, but I did. And then I also asked for a discount, again, like I was saying, and then I have my son telling me, Mom, why would you ask for a discount? We already ate the cake. I go, yeah, but they didn't do a good job and we didn't finish the cake. And I requested the discount immediately, because on Monday I went to pick up the discount. So my kids were super embarrassed that I was doing this. And you also get embarrassed sometimes when I do this. Like when I request for a discount on something or my money back, or I send something back, like even returning clothes that we didn't like in the end or didn't fit right. Like, why does it bother you guys?
Okay, first of all, what's the subject? Are we talking about the cake, or are we talking about
We're talking about discounts.
Okay,
like
discounts?
You guys
hold on.
Embarrassed
I want to cover
me
something
requesting
real quick.
Discounts.
Can I talk now?
Yes.
Okay. When you say strawberry shake and you went to your description, let me go to my description when I think of strawberry shortcake. Okay. When I hear strawberry shortcake, now call me stupid and naive, all right? I don't know, but I imagine like a cake like you would see on Strawberry Shortcake, like cartoon, that little stuffed animal or whatever stuffed doll that you would see. I remember the pictures. It was always like you said, like a white kind of whipped cream cover with strawberries. But I always remember that when they cut it, like the breading was like reddish pinkish, and if it wasn't, the jelly, the whatever in the middle was like strawberry jelly. And it's really soft and fluffy, like, oh. So yeah, this cake, I was like, okay, the printing or whatever that was supposed to be
messed up. Yeah,
I was like, and I'm glad you're bringing it up. Is that what you bought and put on it?
Yes, what was on the cake was me trying to fix what
Okay,
they had done.
because it looked like the writing and everything was so tiny compared to everything else in there.
Yeah,
and it didn't match. It didn't go with the cake.
Trying to fix it. Yes.
So then my wife requested some special writing on it in a certain way, and they messed it up. So they took it off. They tried to redo it, and they took it off again. And then I guess she went to a store and bought stuff and put it on top of it. So yeah, the top of it was what we wanted it to say. But it didn't go with the cake because it was like rainbow colored.
Yeah, because that's all I found. Yeah.
So then we were like, oh. So in my mind, when I'm looking at this thing, I was like, that was not worth $70. Like just by the looks of it, I was like, so this thing better fucking blow my mind right now, taste wise. And I get it, and it felt like the stiffest, hardest thing I've eaten.
Yeah.
And dry.
Yeah.
Dry. I was just like, fudge, like this sucks. Like no way, I'm breaking my diet for no reason. Like it was not cool.
Not a good cake.
Yeah. But I was like, it wasn't horrible. I guess if you had like milk or a coffee with it, it felt more like you should be drinking a coffee with that
like
cake.
Like a pan dulce or something.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It was like because it was so
heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy. So I felt like I should have been drinking a coffee and maybe eating this cake because it was so sweet. So like the frosting outside, the buttercream, can be kind of sometimes a little oversweet.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, like a coffee would have been good. Just a plain black coffee, I would have been fine with it, or I can dip it or something, my daughter took out her phone and she was like, this is my cake from last year, and it had some butterflies and stuff. So I knew right there and then that I was like, shit, like somebody's going to be pissed off about this. And I don't blame them. It kind of sucks. She had this envisioned in her mind. She had it planned. There's a reason why she went to this place, because it had great reviews. It looked like it was trying to support a local business, hoping that they would have knocked it off the park and we all would have been happy with it. And we had this whole other thing in our mind, and it didn't work out that way. And so it sucked. It was a disappointment.
And this was before I even knew about any cakes from the year before.
Right.
Like,
yeah, we didn't know.
This
so
is just
she brought it out.
Trying to do something nice for her because she never spends time with us.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. We wanted it to be perfect. I invited people, and my wife invited family. And to be honest, no one showed up.
One person.
Yeah, one person with two of his kids, and not even the spouse showed up. So it just ended up being us. And then on top of it, while I'm trying to grill, it was raining. So that kind of
pretty though. I mean, I didn't mind the day. And the other side of it is, I mean, we're just talking about her birthday. Unfortunately, because she's hard of hearing / deaf, not everyone signs, right? I'm the only one that really signs, and
the most, yes.
I'm the one who signs the most, and so I spend most of my time when she's here translating if she's not, reading people's lips, and that makes it hard for her because, everyone's having a conversation and she just looks at me like waiting for me to translate, especially if they're talking in Spanish, and she's just waiting for me to translate everything to her in ASL. And it kind of sucks, but she says, it's the same at her mom. So it's like she doesn't get away from it.
The part that I find funny is like, let's say I'm talking to somebody else, let's say my brother, for example, and I'm signing, right? Because I know she's nearby, or like a person or next to me, and she's looking in that direction. And I'm trying to sign so that kind of follows the conversation because I don't know all the signs. Also, I'm very bad at it. I'm very rusty. She has, like my wife said, she hasn't been over for a while. But so that she knows. But I find it funny because they're like, whoever I'm talking to, they're talking to me, and they're looking at me like, dude, why are you signing? I'm not deaf. I don't need you to sign. And I'm like, it's not for you, it's for her. It was like, so she knows what's being said here, so she's not excluded. So I've never kind of experienced that. Like, and I heard it like 3 times. Like my brother said it, his son said it, our son said it. And I was like,
I didn't notice.
yeah, I was like, that's hilarious. I was like, no, I'm doing it for her. She's like right here. And they're like, oh, okay, all right, never mind. But yeah, all right. So that.
But my point was the discount. Like,
the discount.
Is it wrong?
I'm going to tell you, no, it's not wrong. On something like that, when you're paying money and you're asking, like, you expected something, you requested something, and what you're requesting is not delivered, and then there was a backstory of it, right? And you let them know that that's not what you meant, and they said we'll try to fix it, but them trying to fix it didn't really fix it.
No, it made it just as bad or worse.
Yeah, and then they're dealing with other customers at the same time, so they're not giving you the 100% attention or trying to correct it because you were there, you had pre-ordered it. And
I was the only person there when I showed up.
Right. And they got it wrong, not once, not twice, but they're still not dealing with you 100%. Instead of the person that showed up later was like, give me a second, let's correct this.
Well, no, that's not what happened. It's just they did try to fix it, but I wasn't going to call them out in front of the other customers because just because they messed up mine doesn't mean they messed up theirs, right? So and again, they had great reviews, so clearly many people have enjoyed cakes from this location. So, I got in the car and I called them and then I asked for the discount and they gave it to me right away. They agreed that it wasn't like the baker is the one who was like, "No, you're right. That was unacceptable."
I mean, in that case, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. There are times when I think, well, for me, like if I don't know, I just kind of.
I just know it's happened a lot where if I've asked for a discount on something or I've returned something, you or the kids get bothered by it.
There's some things that I get that if you buy them and they're not really what you liked or they don't fit how they have to and it's still like the same way, then that's fine. Like if you buy something for someone, like you buy me a shirt and it's doesn't fit or it's not my style, then I understand like returning it. But there are times, yeah, I guess I'm contradicting myself because there are times when you've gotten stuff and it's like, oh, just take it back. I was like, no, I just kind of feel more like, for me, it's more of the when you return it because you're like, no, I want to save the money. I'd rather save money. It was a stupid buy. I want to return it. And those are the times when I think it bothers me. It triggers me in a way. And it's a psychological thing for me, I guess, where I'm like, we're not that poor. We don't need to sacrifice giving that up. You bought it for a reason. It was needed or you wanted it. You shouldn't have to return it. It makes me feel like a failure or like I'm not providing for you or our family.
Oh, I've never thought about it that way. Just because I don't know, you just make it seem
I'm gonna give you an
thing
example, and I kind of forget about this, and it comes back at times. Many years ago, I think we only had both our boys, and I bought you a bracelet with the turtles, and I had been saving up money. Things were tight, extremely tight at the time, but I had been slowly saving a little bit to buy you something nice. And I thought it was beautiful because when our second born, I bought you like a little paper magnet thing for your desk that had turtles. It was like the mommy turtle and the 2 baby turtles. And I was like, oh, that's our family. So I kind of considered turtles more thing because I like turtles.
We like turtles for the second born.
And so I bought you this bracelet, and it meant the world to me. I was happy for myself that I was able to do this, and I gave it to you for Mother's Day. And a week later, you returned it. You knew where I got it, and you returned it. It broke my heart. It really pissed me off. It broke my heart. I was angry. I was disappointed.
I kept the necklace.
You said it was because it was a waste of money and we needed the money for other stuff. and I didn't care. I didn't see it that way, and it made me feel like you didn't appreciate my gift, you didn't appreciate my sacrifice, and what I'm willing to do for the people that I love, which is you and our kids, because you're all the family that I actually have. So to me, it was heartbreaking, but I understood. I understood that things were tight. I understood that we were going through a real rough patch where yeah, we were scraping. We were barely surviving. But I just knowing what it cost me to do that, like it was like you spit in my face.
Well, and that was never my intention, because you know how frugal I can be, and I don't.
It just felt not appreciated. It felt like my gift man shit.
No, it's not that wasn't appreciated.
But it was a gift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a gift. Like I have a problem with people returning a gift. I understand
that, and at the same time, when we're in the hole, I don't expect us to put ourselves more in the hole by buying things we don't need.
Yeah, but it wasn't putting us more in the hole, because I had been saving to make this happen. So that's to me, I was like, it's I always say it. We go through them, but I'm like, we'll figure it out.
Well,
we'll
now you know. We'll don't buy me bracelets.
Well, yeah. I mean, have you gotten any since then?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
I did keep the necklace, the turtle necklace.
Yeah, but there was a set. It wasn't a set. It was a set.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue because I don't remember what it looked like.
Exactly, because it didn't matter shit to you. So
kept the necklace, and this is not what the conversation is about. We're talking about discounts. Is it wrong to request discounts? Is it wrong to return
but I'm saying
things?
I understand that sometimes, like to me, it just feels like that. Like we're not that poor, or we're not struggling that bad. That sometimes it's just like things shouldn't be returned. Like you bought it, you wanted it, and then you're like, oh no, you know what? I really, really don't need it, so I was just gonna take it back. I was like, then what was the point? What was the point of wasting that time and trying things out and checking them out and comparing them and whatever the hell it went into to be like, oh well, never mind.
People change their minds.
Yeah, I guess, but that's the difference.
At least I'm not one of those people who wears it out and then pretends I didn't wear it and then returns it, because we know people like that.
Right, yeah. Maybe that's why I kind of feel like that. I don't want people to think that. Like, well, you guys just used it and now you're returning it,
Maybe because we've known too many people like that.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Definitely not that. It's like, no, it didn't fit.
No, there's certain times when I think a discount should be applied and should be asked. I mean, especially places where, customer service is part of the experience, right?
Yeah, and I think that's my point with the kids, because the kids, well, especially our 16-year-old, he was really bothered by the fact that I asked for a discount on the cake. He was really bothered, and he's bothered. He's the one who doesn't like when I return things, like at the restaurants, or, I mean, you don't like that either, but
that's for other reasons, though.
But it goes back to the same point, and this is what I was trying to tell him that day, was that I paid for a service. I paid more money than I would normally pay for a service, and it was extremely disappointing. We deserve to be recompensed for it not meeting our expectation. And I know he doesn't understand that because it's not his money, but I'm sure if it had been his money, he'd be like, hey, no, I want my money back. And actually, I should say, maybe not at this point. As he gets older, he'll understand. Because I think at that age, I also was embarrassed by when I was younger, I would get embarrassed when my dad did stuff like that too. But
if I want my money back, I'm not taking the product, though. That's my thing. So, like, maybe that's how he sees it. Like, you took it and we ate it. Mm-hmm. So then you shouldn't be asking for anything back. But the thing was that, like you said, you were respectful to them as a business. They were dealing with somebody else. You didn't want to bring it up because you didn't want other people to hear it. And so you did a phone call and kind of let them know, like, no, this is not right. I would like a discount because I'm going to have to take this off, So that's fine. That's fine in that case. He doesn't see it like that because he's still young, right? He hasn't.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff hasn't cost him the money yet, so he hasn't known. But I mean, like when we're talking about the food, the only time I'm a jerk, is one of my steaks. So if I ask for blue or medium rare and it's not, I'll say something. But when they're like, "Oh, we'll take it back," I was like, "Nope,
No, you won't.
nope,
Yeah.
nope, leave it here. It's done." But I want a discount. Give me a free drink or an appetizer, or don't give me nothing. I was like, "No, I'm not. Like, I don't think I should be paying the full price because you didn't give me what I asked for."
Yeah.
I was like, "This restaurant, it's a steakhouse, and you fucked up the steak.
Yeah.
Like, how can you do that?"
Cooks first day. Yeah, I know restaurants are a big deal, and for a long time you were bothered whenever I'd send things back, but it's because you said that you used to work for restaurants and you know that people are not respectful of food that comes back.
No.
So, you're like, no, we don't want anybody to spit in it or throw something in it, so you just never send the food back.
Yeah.
Ask for a discount, but don't send it back.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that was the little thing. I know it was just
So
kind of
being
like
embarrassed.
a complaining story about the birthday and it not going.
Well, it sucks,
as
Like I
much
said,
as well.
You look forward. When you plan a party, you see it a certain way in your head, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of like a
course.
wedding, right? Your wedding, you want like that's why there's bridezillas, right? In their head, their wedding, their party, it's supposed to be a certain way, and they want everything, the cake to look like this, and the people to be sitting like this, and the napkins to be. I wouldn't know. I'm just saying from what I've seen on TV and movies.
We got married on the beach.
And so that's that. And when it doesn't go the way that they envision it, they turn into the bridezillas. So if you're planning a party, of course, you're expecting it a certain way. You're a cake, you're going out of your way to do something special, and it's out of your control. You're trusting somebody else to deliver what your vision is, what you expect, and you're paying for it, right? You get what you pay for. That's one of my rules, right?
Yeah.
You get what you pay for. So if you're paying this price and it's not delivered, like the $20 cake is way better than this,
Yeah.
then why would I give you my business?
Yeah.
And it was a simple order.
Yeah.
It's not like it was a hard thing,
No, I didn't think it was difficult. I mean, they literally had a picture of strawberry shortcake on the wall, and I said, okay, I'll have that.
Yeah. So yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I mean, it was a disappointment on that end. So yeah, definitely you ruined my special day, my special occasion. Like, yeah, give me a
Get me a
discount.
discount. Well, hopefully our son will understand it sooner than later.
There's values, yeah. I mean,
To
But then-
value his money.
yeah, it's kind of one of those things that we always go back to it. Like things were different way back when.
I think it's also we were different. Like I definitely am in agreement that the person we were when we were 19 is definitely not the person we are now in our mid 40s. Like the way we used to think about things, the way we saw life. Like we both used to say we never wanted kids, right? Yet here we are with 4 of them. You technically with 6, and 7.
Well, you
Right.
too.
Huh? Well, I know, but I mean, you went and had kids, and here we are with all these children and all these pets, even though that was always on your plans. Actually, I can't say that you didn't say they were going to have a bunch of dogs. But your mentality changes.
I wanted 4 dogs. And I'm like, no way.
Mentality changes, that we grow up and we go from having these thoughts and, I'm going to be free and live free and do whatever I want and work and make my money. And then you get to a point in life where you're all like, I just want to stay home and do nothing and watch TV and cuddle on the sofa with my loved ones. And it's just a very different mentality. And I think, our son, he's 16, he'll be 17 this year. And he's just in that stage of still learning. And, when he's in his 30s, 40s, whatever, however long it takes, eventually he'll understand.
Yeah, and I think it was also like you said, his age. I think we both had our first jobs, right? We were working, getting paychecks.
No, I wasn't working yet.
No?
Not till 18.
So
you were though.
I remember that for me, like buying stuff for myself, being my bus pass in order to get to school, or clothes, or whatever I wanted. Like I took care of it, obviously, because I knew what it cost me to get it. Right?
Yeah.
So then I had a different mentality. Now, I'll admit it. I've always been embarrassed to say, "Oh, can I get a discount on this?" Or whatever.
I'm not a good haggler.
haggling is a big old thing
Horrible.
in third world countries, and believe me, as growing
Didn't
up in
learn it.
Mexico, I did. That's not my thing. I never liked it. If
No.
I ask you what the price is, and you tell me, okay, that's the value. If it's in my budget, I'll say yes. If it's not, then okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm the same.
You know. Now if I'm on certain websites and you have coupons or whatever, not, or if you tell me if I sign up to the newsletter, you're gonna send me coupons, I'll do it and I'll save them, and then when I'm ready to buy it, I will use those secret code names and whatever,
Yeah.
and get my 10%, 5% free shipping, whatever you want to throw at me. Most definitely, that I will do that. I've never been to the point where I'm cutting out coupons,
No.
but
I think I did try that for like a week. It was not. I did not successful.
I don't know. Sometimes I see some of those people that have all these damn coupons and they shop like that, and they like end up spending like $5 and they have like 2 carts. I'm like, well, how the hell did you do
You
that?
just have to know.
Yeah, it
Because
makes
I
me
don't-
want to try
I
it,
don't have the time.
but I don't think they do that anymore. I don't think they do
I don't
coupons
think
anymore.
so. No, not like that.
Yeah. But,
Anyways,
yeah, I think guys are more embarrassed to ask for coupons, like discounts. I think it's just one of
I
those.
don't know. I think it just depends on the man.
Yeah, I think it's more of a like turn down
You
thing.
you do see more women haggling.
Oh
over
I have a
prices.
sister. Oh my freaking god, dude! This lady is straight out like, oh, it has a scratch right here. Can I get a discount on it? Can you get the manager? I want to talk to the manager. The manager, straight out Karen. Not as bad as a Karen, but I like, yeah, she fits
Borderline,
them. Yeah,
yeah.
like it was made in that mold, but they just painted it brown instead of white. And then yeah, she'll haggle too. She's like a master at it. Like she will go to those, yard sales or thrift stores or whatever, and she would haggle. Even
at a
at
thrift store?
even at Costco, man, she'll be like, oh well, if I take this and it's an open box or the box is damaged, you should do this and you should do that, but she gets away with it, man, and she gets all this crap for
Is it
free.
because she's scary?
I don't know. And then me over here, I'm all honest and everything, and try to be courteous on it, and I get freaking screwed out of
that's
it.
why we say following the rules, right? Like, if we do anything illegal, we're the ones who are going to get in trouble, not everybody else.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. You got me thinking. Like, why are guys? Because honestly, I don't think I see a lot of guys ask for a discount. Why are we embarrassed about it?
I don't know. Maybe like how you were talking about earlier, this whole like manly thing, like feeling like you should be able to provide it or purchase it because you should have enough as a man.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm not a cheapskate. What are people around here? What are they gonna think about me? They're gonna.
Who cares
see
what
me.
people think?
Yeah, exactly. So why are men? Because you're right. I never see men say.
I mean, I
Can't
say
get a
who
discount.
cares, but of course I care. Like, I'm not a haggler in any way. I will ask for like to ask her for the discount. Literally, I had to talk myself into it. Like, I was sitting in the car, like, ask for a discount. No, don't ask for a discount. It's fine. I'll fix it myself. Nope, ask for a discount. Like,
No,
I had to make myself.
And
do
it's
it.
funny because, like, to follow back on that, I remember you told me that you went in there for that discount thing, right? Like, to let them know about the discount, and they gave you like treats.
Yeah, in the end, I told them so ultimately they were going to give me $10 back because that was the cost of the print that got messed up twice. And then on top of that, a 15% discount. And here's where I caved. I was okay with them just giving me $10 worth of product instead
That's
of the
fine.
15% discount. So I said, when I went finally back in to collect the $10 because they weren't going to refund the card, I said, you know what? Just give me $10 worth of whatever pastries you have and we'll call it even. And they're like, oh, yeah, sure, of course. They actually gave me more than the $10 worth. Again, these are very expensive pastries. So, I ended up coming out with 2 cheese danishes and 4 giant chocolate chip cookies.
Which was fine for the
Which
kids.
was fine. The kids are happy with that. And you like the Danish, even though I will say that their cheesecake,
didn't.
the strawberry cheesecake that you had that from there
Oh yeah, the
with
cheesecake
that
was decent.
strawberry compote, that was delicious.
That was
So their pastries were delicious. So it's just their cake. So for pastries, I would definitely go back to this place. But in this moment, I just took the $10 plus worth of product and
Yeah, for me,
called it
after
even.
tasting that Danish and that cake, I'm like, they don't have my business. But now that you brought up that cheese thing that you got me, and if it was from there, then yeah, that was
the cheesecake was on point.
That one was good. So 1 out of 3 things. So I guess they're down to two outs.
You didn't like their chocolate chip cookies are really good. Actually.
I didn't taste that stuff. I mean.
Yeah, he's not supposed to be eating any of this, but you know, our kids are enjoying it. So, anyways, that was my little spiel. Well, just want to know if I'm right or wrong about the whole discount thing, because I know you don't always agree with me, and I don't know if anybody out there. How are you guys? You know, maybe some of you are really good at haggling. Maybe some of you are good at asking for discounts, and maybe some of you don't. Just like it is what it is.
What's the rules of asking for discounts? I guess like when is it right to ask for a discount? When is it wrong?
Yeah.
Is it wrong to ask for a discount, or is it right? I guess you should. I mean, if you're not happy.
Yeah, if you're not happy with the service, right? And that's better than what people do at work and do chargebacks where they literally just cancel the whole thing even though they collected the product.
Well, yeah, I mean, you deal with that a lot too. So
I
guess you get to see that. So then one day, if you ever talk to my dad, you're going to ask him for a discount.
Who?
My dad. He'll
Why?
be like, your son's not what I thought he was. I need a discount.
I need a discount. You need to pay me back for whatever.
Yeah.
No, of course not.
No refunds.
No refunds.
No refunds.
No refunds.
That's what your dad said to me.
No refunds.
Your mom was quick. Like, nope.
All right. Well, that was it.
Well, thanks for that, babe. I was interesting to see your point of view on that.
Yeah. Well, no, was to ask you about your point. So.
Yeah,
because you've told me. You contradicted yourself today.
No, and I said it. I was like, I guess I'm contradicting myself because there's times when, yeah, it should be, but then there's times when I just feel embarrassed about it. I don't know. And then now I'm thinking about it, and yeah, it's probably just a guy thing. Maybe, like I said, like you were saying, maybe a psychological thing where you kind of feel like a failure if you're asking for discounts. But then if you pay for something and you're supposed to get a certain quality or you expect certain quality and you're not getting it, then most definitely, there should be a discount with it because they didn't deliver for the service that they promised.
And the other flip side on that is, and also don't overpay for something because there's people, like you said, you get what you pay for. Yeah. There's been things we've paid for that were not worth it. Right. And then sometimes you can't ask for a discount because it is what it is.
Yeah,
for car services.
Yeah, for me, usually, oh my goodness, I'm really bad at those. I get mad. I'm horrible.
No, but I mean, like, if you go to a mechanic and the mechanic doesn't do a good job, are you able to ask for a discount? Are you likely to get it? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's like, I was like,
especially a dealer.
Yeah, no, yeah, that is, you're screwed on that one.
Yeah, because you definitely overpaying if you go to the dealer.
Yeah, you're always overpaying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, for me, I guess like this, I don't ask for discounts. I just you lose your tip because for me, that's usually where I spend money. Right?
That's
it's like
true.
when we go to the restaurants and we do things, and if I don't like the service, definitely you're not getting a tip.
Yeah.
And if the orders weren't right, or like we said before.
And I do feel bad when the food's not right and it's not the server's fault. That's like hard because like, do you tip? Do you not tip?
Yeah, but then you've seen it. We've been in the spectrum where the waiter is on point and greatest service and very attentive and great recommendations, and I'm like, I need to speak to your manager.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, man, this guy right here. He needs a
raise.
Yeah.
That's been a while since we've been to one of those. But
this guy needs a raise. I'm double tipping on this one. Like he deserves it. Like I want him to keep it. He's not sharing it with all the other people at the end of the shift. This is his money.
No pool sharing.
Like, and it's been rare.
It's very rare. Very rare. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's it. We're over. All right. Have a good night.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us and appreciate your love and support. Take care.
Okay. Bye.
Till next time.